Hi, hello. Welcome to this particular course. This is actually the genesis of the Skyco video editor, but for this particular um, issue, I want to kind of validate the I want to validate the idea to see if this is possible. And of course, if it works out, then you are going to see that this would be open as one of the app that is on the Skyco's module. So we have so many applications right now here, and all these applications is actually helping people do real work. So the obvious question that I get from most people is that Skyco is a beast. Why do I have to do all this? But the question that we are trying to solve here on Skyco is that we know traditionally all applications have been written like by individual companies or whatever, and those applications, because they are written in by different people, the trust level for applications that exist where one application has to communicate with the other, it's very difficult. And so what now we're trying to do is to not think of Skyco as an app. So this is the problem. Skyco is not an app. Skyco, you should think of it as as a supermarket, but for app. So when you go to a supermarket, you'll have everything at the convenience. You'll have everything you need to, for example, to buy food for a dinner or whatever. And essentially, this is what Skyco is aspiring, to do. So there are so many things that you want to do, and they are very complex to get it done. But because these things, most of this complexity is based on because the tools that you use, they are not collaborative. They don't communicate easily simply because one tool is written by another one and the other one is written by the other one. And so just to get a simple work to do, sometimes you end up like running on so many tools. And so we're trying to solve that. We want to build an ecosystem of tools that actually communicate, and the idea is even if you're not there, and the end goal is that your tools should continue working for you, and this should be easy. It should simplify your life. We also want tools on Skyco to adapt to your way of work, because traditional software applications are built based on saying, okay, we'll create the workflow, and the user needs to first of all learn how these things work before they can start to actually do their work. So there's almost always learning curve that applies to the tools that you use. Well, how are we solving that on Skyco? With Skyco, you have just one interface, and that interface, we want to make sure you learn the tools once and you do everything with it. And so instead of learning one tool and then you find this one here, so the methodology of how usually computer functions or computer programs work, most of those principles remain the same. But unfortunately, people almost always would like to do things in their own way, and so the end result is users have to pay for it in terms of time, of where you even sometimes locate tools. Tools are located in so many other places. So for example, now on Skyco, if you are if you're a gig worker, or if you're somebody who value productivity and all that, you can bring your team, right? You come with your team, bring your team, and with your team you have everything that is needed to actually run a project. For example, you can see if you need communication tools, or all communication tools to manage your contacts or your the people that you have that you want to work with, they are all here. You want task management tools, all the task management tools are here. you want like document creation or whatever, the things to kind of create a resource for your organization to function well, all of them are kind of located for you here. And most likely, by the time you continue, by the time you are watching this movie in the future, chances are so many other tools have been added here on the ecosystem. And so this is why it's great for you to kind of be around here and see how things are going to sort of work out. So let's actually see what it is that we are going to be creating. So about me, let me actually just jump really quick here and go to Skyco. So just be aware that, you know, by the time this video comes out, maybe this URL will change, and the reliable URL you should go to should always be skyco.com. That's where you're going to be starting. I'm using the development version to build this tutorial, but yours, chances are you're going to be using the skyco.com instead of dev.skyco.com. So you can see here already a bunch of people are already creating posts. You can actually do social networking here. So what I would want you to do is that if you want to get in touch with me, just come to my rep version control here. I am using that. So let me go here. I like collecting, some sort of appreciation from people if they think that the work I'm doing actually helps them. So when I'm saying appreciation, I don't mean that you need to pay me or whatever, but what I'm after is just simple things, a simple thank you or whatever, by just coming here and smashing the green, where you're able to plug a green on my reputation heat map. That would really mean the world to me. And you can do that here on Skyco, and you can see as in the work that I do, there are people who are able to come and thank me, and they just put a green here, and you can either you can just click on the thank me or something, or you can just shout out to me or endorse my work, the work that you kind of know me with and all that. You can do that. And then also, this is not just for myself. This website, this ecosystem is not built for myself, but you can think of it, the same thing I'm doing here, you can also do it here on the application. So this is the project that I've been working on for like about 3 years now. I started working on this in 2020, and now it has evolved into a full sort of ecosystem of tools that people can actually use for their business and all that. And so today I kind of want to walk you through to see how I approach certain issues, to see how I convert them into some sort of application into this. So in this video, what we're actually going to be talking about is this problem that I have analyzed here. So let's just jump into this. And of course, I'm using Skyco. I'm using Skyco EduSky. That is the course creation to kind of produce this course. And there's a reason I'm using this, because the way how I want courses to be authored is this kind of describe like the methodologies that I actually take. So Skyco is not so much about like using, it's more about like you proposing your workflow, and then you let the software kind of adapt to it. So this is me kind of demonstrating what this is. Currently, if something is missing to kind of build a rich workflow for how you do certain things, then just feel free to come here into the app version, request an app. Either that can be a feature, or that can be something that you feel there's a little bit that needs to be really added into the app that you're using, that can help you do your work better, and we'll be happy to respond to that and really help you go through that. Okay, so one of the things that I usually run into very fast is that I want to record videos like this. And then sometimes in the video, I want to like just, I don't want to do too much work. All I want is essentially to just, cut clips together and stitch them, up. So the simplest way as a software engineer is that I could just use FFmpeg to kind of stitch this through and just go through. But the problem is that you can see doing video processing on command line can be very, very difficult. And so what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to try to attempt to solve this problem, and then the end result here is essentially to just create an MVP of tool that I can browse videos on my MacBook and then use FFmpeg to kind of stitch those videos together, to cut sections of the video that I don't want, and then combine this video together so I can essentially upload it either onto Skyco here or onto YouTube or any other video sharing application. But I want to do this completely free. I don't want to use other tools to get that work done. So essentially, this is going to be my approach of how I, as a software engineer, how I sort of approach this kind of issues. And the code is going to be on GitHub that I'm going to share, and any other related coursework that I find worthy of documentation, I'm going to be documenting it under this course, which is called the Skyco Video Editor. Now, I'm hoping that in the future, this would become a standalone media app on Skyco's ecosystem. If that happens, great, I'll be happy. If not, then, we can actually, we can see how that works out. So in the next video, we are going to kind of talk about the tech stacks and also like the sort of the design of this application. How is it going to kind of work, or how are we going to approach it? What sort of tech stacks we're going to be using for that? I am essentially going to talk you through over that, and yeah, I think it's going to be great. There's going to be a lot of things to learn, and I can't wait to see you in that particular version of the app. So yeah, until then, thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next video.